Every NBA season has a moment where the league quietly decides who's actually serious. It's not opening night, it's not Christmas Day, it's the trade deadline. In a matter of hours, front offices reveal everything. Who's chasing a title, who's giving up, and who's about to make a move that changes the league for years. And this year, the rumors are loud and the stakes are high once again. Stars like Trae Young, Ja Morant, and Giannis sit at the center of it all. In fact, Trae Young was already the first domino to fall, because the NBA trade deadline is deeper than trades. It's about belief. And in a few weeks, we're going to find out who actually has it, and it's about to be absolutely delirious. Last year's trade deadline was unlike anything the NBA had ever seen. In just a few days, over 20 trades reshaped rosters across the league. 63 players were involved, some franchise stars, some role players, and a few surprises nobody saw coming. Luka Doncic found a new home in Los Angeles. Anthony Davis headed to Dallas. Jimmy Butler moved in a multi-team deal that shook the standings. By the end of it, 26 of the 30 teams had made at least one move. No one was safe. Last year's deadline showed us that when the clock ticks down, chaos is guaranteed, and when the dust settles, you see exactly who's serious. And now, with the clock ticking again, even more teams are about to show us just who they are. Although we're still a few weeks away from the trade deadline, the rumors are already flying. And if this is any indication, we're about to see some major shifts in the league. There's so much to unpack, so let's start with Atlanta. Trae Young was the first domino to fall this deadline, heading to the Washington Wizards for CJ McCollum and Corey Kispert. Expect the Hawks to stay active as they pivot toward a more defensive identity. The Trae Young era in Atlanta is officially over, and the franchise is charting a completely new direction. Next up, Memphis, the home of the Grizzlies. It feels like every day there's a new report about teams exploring trades for Ja Morant. Just a few seasons ago, Memphis was competing hard in the playoffs, and Ja was cementing himself as one of the league's future faces. Now it seems clear the Grizzlies and Ja are not on the same page. Teams like the Miami Heat and Toronto Raptors have been linked so far, and a trade is looking increasingly likely. It's only a matter of time before he's in a new city. Over in Dallas, things couldn't be messier. The Mavericks were reportedly planning to trade Anthony Davis and rebuild around Cooper Flagg, until AD went down with another injury that could sideline him for months. That drastically lowers his trade value, and now any team willing to take a chance will demand a heavy discount. Even if the Raptors or Hawks were interested earlier, it's unclear anyone will step in now. In Milwaukee, the Giannis situation is getting tense. He's made it clear he will never demand a trade, even though reports last offseason suggested his preferred destination was the New York Knicks, and that trade talks took place. But if Giannis truly wants another ring, staying in Milwaukee might no longer be an option. If the Bucks continue to struggle, either he forces a move or the front office may be the ones to shake things up. Heading to Golden State, the Warriors are still searching for answers despite Steph Curry playing at an insane level. They acquired Jimmy Butler last year, but roster construction remains a problem, particularly with Jonathan Kuminga still on the bench despite expectations for growth. The Sacramento Kings have reportedly shown interest, and the Warriors may look to flip him for a contributor who can help now. Meanwhile in Sacramento, things have been chaotic. The Kings are struggling, despite paying large contracts to players like DeMar DeRozan, Zach LaVine, and Sabonis. GM Scott Perry has publicly said the team needs to get younger, meaning a fire sale could be on the table. They could move several veterans, giving other teams valuable pieces for the future. In New Orleans, the Pelicans are still hoping Zion Williamson can reach his ceiling. Injuries and conditioning issues have plagued him, and the team is underperforming. But they're doubling down on their young core and seem committed to sticking with it, at least for now. But beyond the individual rumors, the trade deadline has the ability to shift the entire league. Every trade, whether it involves a superstar or a role player, has ripple effects that can redefine playoff races, team identities, and the balance of power in both conferences. If Trae Young's move to Washington is just the start, it signals a full reset for Atlanta. Shedding their offensive centerpiece forces the Hawks to reinvent themselves, and any further moves will determine whether they can stay competitive. Meanwhile, a Ja Morant trade would shake the foundation of Memphis. The Grizzlies' identity is built around his explosiveness and leadership, and moving him would instantly reset their trajectory, forcing the front office to rethink everything, from strategy to roster construction. Trades don't only affect the teams making them. Middle-tier franchises are watching closely, calculating how a shift in the East or West changes their own path to the playoffs. Acquiring or losing a star can instantly create a contender or derail a season, and even smaller moves, draft picks, role players, expiring contracts, can tip the balance of a tight playoff race. Beyond Trae, Ja, and other key stories, there are a handful of players whose fate could quietly shift the league. Michael Porter Jr., Kyle Kuzma, Lauri Markkanen, Nick Claxton, and Jeremy Grant are all rumored to be on the move, and any of them landing in the right situation could immediately alter a team's ceiling. Even smaller trades can create unexpected ripple effects, opening up minutes, changing rotations, or giving contending teams just the boost they need. In the NBA, no player is untouchable, especially after we saw Luka get traded. So the NBA trade deadline is almost here, and the next few weeks promise total chaos. Stars will move, rosters will shift, and the playoff picture could be completely rewritten overnight. Every trade will carry meaning, signaling which teams truly believe, which are willing to gamble, and which might be bluffing. By the time the noise quiets down, we'll see who is building for glory and who is just surviving. The league's balance of power will change, identities will be reshaped, and fans will be left reacting to a whirlwind of moves that no one could fully predict. Every front office, every player, and every decision will matter. And when that clock finally hits zero, the NBA will look completely different than it does today.